What up, though? This is super dope right now. I'm on Facebook Live with my buddy Atleski from Austin, Texas. He's like a consciousness meditation expert. The dude wrote a book about, he followed Krishnamurti and he was meditating at like 16 and he wrote a book at 17. I was hanging out with this guy 10 years ago, just reconnected with him again. We would literally light incense in his car and meditate to like crazy frequencies and shit. And I'm on Facebook Live with him right now. I wanted to introduce you to him because of the nature and content of this channel being about consciousness. Sounds like I'm on a podcast right now. And I want to introduce you to him. I uploaded a video like 5 videos ago of me meditating with some dude by water, and that was him. And this is 10 years later. I actually found the old footage. Alright, he's calling me back. Here he's coming on. I think his phone died. Yeah, here he is. Ta-da! Okay, so what up, though? We're on YouTube Live right now. We're like, how are we gonna interview you on the channel? I'm like, bro, we'll do Facebook Live and then a YouTube Live, a Facebook Live. And so you're in Austin, Texas right now. This is Atleski. We've been literally, so I took a break from work, and I appreciate your time right now. And just talking to this dude is literally unlocking mental and emotional blocks and barriers in my consciousness of things just by the nature of presence, meditation, and consciousness. So what's up, Alex?
How's it going?
Very well, sir. Everybody says what's up. Real quick, I'm going to ask him a couple questions, and you could check out his stuff. He started a YouTube channel. He's doing Facebook Live videos. I'm putting you on the spot, though, if that's okay. Talk a little bit about what you said about you controlling thoughts or thoughts controlling you. So if you have anxiety and you're kind of struggling and you're trapped and you're trying to get present and control your life, talk about that, thoughts controlling you.
So there is just 2 options. It's either you're in control of your thinking or your thinking is in control of you. And the number one foundation to being in control of your thinking is allowing the space to be there to accept clarity. And it oftentimes takes a moment of buildup for you to say something inside yourself where it's like, hey, I feel all this anxiety. What do I do? What do I do? And then all of a sudden you snap and you realize that the anxiety is there. And in that instant, you take a deep breath, you exhale, you realize what you are feeling, and you realize that that is in control of you. And I think that the biggest problem is people think that thinking will get them out of a situation. And the only way thinking is going to help you is if you choose to take control of it. And it's hard sometimes to be in a position where you're aware of what's going on inside of your head, but you have to do your best to watch what's happening inside of your mind. You have to sit there and you can't put up resistance to what you're thinking. You can't, put your fists up and say, oh, you know what, I'm going to fight this. I'm going to punch this anxiety in the face, or I'm going to punch these negative emotions in the face. All that needs to happen is for you to sit there once again and take that deep breath and just watch what's happening. Watch every single word that's coming into your mind. Keith, did you want to say something?
No, it's funny, like, as you're talking about it, there's a part of my ego that resists what you're saying, and I don't want to fucking listen to you. I'm like, he's just babbling, because it's truthful. But when I push through and actually get present and I listen to you, I get resolute, and I'm like, oh, then now.
It's hard. It's hard to actually break free and not think that this is babbling, because a lot of people, we're used to the idea that thinking is going to solve everything. And don't get me wrong, thinking does help. It's a major tool that we have as humans to be able to critically think and look at things and break things down. But it's a problem when you're completely in unawareness and whatever anxiety or emotion you have is in control. The thinking no longer is working for you. The thinking is controlling you. And the number one thing, once again, is just entering that state of clarity. Like, let me give an example that's really practical. I make music, I write, I have a lot of creative hobbies. I spend a lot of time actually writing. And if all of a sudden I have this anxiety inside of my head that I need to produce content, and I'm making, for example, a song or a video or writing, and it's not coming out properly, and I'm trying to force it out, at some point I'll snap and I'll realize that I have a block. And I'll get up and I'll put everything down. I'll put down the notepad, I'll put down the computer, I'll put down the phone, and I'll take a walk outside. And I will force myself to accept stillness and take deep breaths and allow that space to come in. And when it kicks in, I have a completely clean slate to start over from. And I'll come back inside and I'll be able to finish the project that I was doing. It's this nature that we have to try and force out content, or that we always try to put up our fist, like I said, and fight what we're thinking or fight what we're feeling. And you can't do it like that. It doesn't work like that.
It's so crazy. So with me, and can anybody here relate to this? Let me know in the comments. I'm working on a massive project right now. I'm working on a book. I'm working on a massive project. So, and I'm going to the gym and I'm working out regularly too. And I'm forcing myself to get this shit done. And I'm so fucking frustrated because the time is closing down on me. I feel a clock ticking over my head. I got all these responsibilities. I got bills to pay, all this shit going on. And I'm trying to get this project done. And the harder I try, the more like it closes down on me, and I become incapacitated, and I'm staring at the computer screen frustrated because I can't absorb it. I'm purposely showing emotion to express it, but I can't absorb it, and I'm forcing it. And it sucks so bad, but it's good. What you're saying, I'm interpreting it, is when you just let go walk outside, go hang out with your wife, your woman, your fiance, your girlfriend, whatever. We'll kick back and watch a movie, take a nap, sleep in. Literally say fuck it. If some people smoke weed, I don't smoke weed. They're like, smoke a joint or go to the gym. You know, what I'm saying is when you totally let go, then all of a sudden all this clarity comes rushing in, and now you can work at quantum speed. You can get a lot more done. What do you think about it?
That's exactly that, Keith. You're choosing quantum reality over this really basic one-dimensional reality.
Linear reality.
Yeah, exactly. And what gets things done, that quantum realization. I mean, everything that has ever existed in this universe, at least the way we interpret it quantum physically, is that it all arises within space. There's solar systems, there's galaxies, however you want to look at it, however you want to simplify it or expand it, everything exists within space. And that space, if you want to call it emptiness or stillness, that's where all the creative power lies. You can't force out creative power. You can't force out the thinking. Thinking in itself is a type of creative power, no matter what type of thinking it is, and it's just run amok. And you have to be...
Wait. Thinking itself is a creative power, even if it's negative thoughts. Sorry, I'm getting selfish as fuck right now, but this is so good for me because, dude,
I'm glad because it's the truth, Keith. It is.
I laid in bed yesterday for like 2 hours. I was totally like discouraged about everything going on in my life, and I'm usually really positive, and I felt so hopeless and empty. I was like, I'm fucking cursed, man.
It's just amazing. It's once you take control of it, you shift it wherever you want it. You know, it's like, do you want that? Creation's going to happen no matter what. You're going to continue to create thoughts. You're going to continue to create in whatever aspect, and it's going to do it whether you're conscious or not. But as soon as you're conscious, like, you can shift it into the direction that you want it. And that's the problem, is we don't realize that it's creative power, and things are just trying to express themselves. You know, that's why people get caught into bad habits and bad hobbies, because all it is the creative energy inside of you trying to make its way out into space. And so if you're not in control of it, it's going to find some sort of exit. It's going to find whatever negativity is out there.
Bro, I've got to read those couple paragraphs from this book. Cool?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys got to hear this. If you're still here, hit the thumbs up. Say what up, dow. Dude, I read this to him, and we were talking. Okay, so this is like a couple paragraphs out of this book. Oh, look, now we're all here. We're hanging out. It's very nice. Okay, check this shit out. This is dope. I gotta get this to stay. It'll only take a second. Okay, so this is an internet marketing book by Russell Brunson called Expert Secrets, his second book. This guy's made hundreds of millions of dollars online. He's worked with Tony Robbins and all that shit. And there's a certain thing in the book. This has everything to do with what we're talking about right now. This is the shit. Listen to this. I throw the book. Okay, wait. No. Okay. Oh, what's up from Canada? Okay. Secret number 5. The big domino. The one thing. I was sitting in a room with about 120 other successful entrepreneurs, all of whom made at least $1 million a year. A requirement to be in that room. One of the featured keynote speakers was Tim Ferriss, the author of The 4-Hour Workweek. After his presentation, he opened up the floor for questions. A woman stood up and asked, "Hey Tim, you seem to get so much done. What is it that you do all day?" He paused for a moment, then gave an awkward half smile and said, "If you watched my daily routine, you'd be bored out of your mind. Most people wake up every morning with a task list of 1,000 things to do. They go through the day trying to knock down all these things. I wake up every morning and I meditate. I drink tea or coffee. I go for a walk, and maybe I read a book." He said he might spend 3 or 4 weeks doing that and nothing else. My whole goal is to slow down and look around. Instead of looking for all the tasks that I could do, I try to identify the one big domino. The one thing that, if I could knock that down, all the other dominoes would either fall down or become irrelevant. What is that one big domino that you have to slow the fuck down? And uninstall Facebook and YouTube and Snapchat for a couple days and get into a quiet space so you can identify that thing that will change your life, that will literally, it's the power, it's waiting right now, and all the white noise and distraction is stopping us from making that quantum leap. Because talk about how the change happens. Sorry, the look on your face was funny. How the change happens inside, and when your consciousness aligns and everything else happens.
So it's like, it's amazing what happens when you choose to put yourself into awareness. And that's all it is just that one shift. Are you aware of what's happening inside of you at that moment, or are you going to let whatever you're feeling at that moment take its momentum? And I think the worst thing that we do is we put up resistance to that. And we try, like I said, we try to fight it, but all you have to do is take a deep breath and realize that it's there. And we're so used to content all the time, especially like you were just saying, it's funny, get rid of Facebook and YouTube. I mean, we're so used to the momentum of content that we actually let content control us instead of us controlling content. And so all it is just that one thing, recognition of whatever's happening inside of you and whatever's happening around you, and I think that we get so lost in the need to be somewhere, like we want to be in the future, or we want so badly for something to stop. We want so badly for anxiety to stop, or we want our minds to be clear and we want to finish a project, that we forget that the only thing that we have is the now, and the only way anything gets resolved is in the present. And so we need to come to presence. Presence is everything. Taking that deep breath and clearing your mind is number one. Number one, hands down. The inside changes the outside. The outside doesn't change the inside.
Sorry, I laugh when I have a Satori. Oh, fuck, dude. I'm like, this is the happiest I've ever been in my entire life. I'm happy as fuck right now, bro.
And it's like it can continue. That happiness can continue because it's sincere happiness. It's not like a happiness that's built on something that'll dissolve. I think that's our problem, is that it's okay to find happiness in like in things, but we attach to it and we think that it's eternal. But the only thing that's eternal is clarity. The only thing that's eternal is constantly moving, and we have to constantly be willing to change. You know, we put up resistance to change. You know, or we put up resistance to things that we don't like, when all that we have to do is recognize that it's there and accept it. I guess acceptance is a big word that we should use.
Acceptance. All right, it's cool. We can wrap this up in a minute because I know we've been on there for a while, but yes, sir. Oh, I'll hear now. All the comments are coming in. What's up, Turf City, Canada? James Brown, Dylan Abney, Turf City, Canada. Jonathan Doble, Angela Carlton, Dylan Abney, what's up? Nice. Royal Mac, Casey Lee, what up, doe? Very powerful stuff.
I got my Zen Master dog here barking at everything.
That's awesome.
he's like arr, arr.
You sound just like him. You know, what's funny is sometimes these insecurities will eat me alive. Like, these delusions in my head. Let me know if you get this. Like, I imagine. Here's a good example. Alright, one of my animals is scratching the door.
Oh, that's your Zen Master, huh?
Yeah. Basically, you feel like the world expects you to be way farther than you are already right now. You should be already have, you know, your dream house and all the best of everything, and because you don't have it, it means that you're less of a person, and you're trying your hardest, right? And it's stuff like that. Do you ever have those feelings like you're being rushed and a clock is ticking over your head? And
I used to have those all the time, Keith. Those were quite frequent, especially about a decade ago. You know, 19, 20 years old. I was just coming into like spiritual understanding, and I guess you can call it having those glimpses of enlightenment, but that stuff was there all the time. It was always like, oh, why am I not where I should be financially? Why am I not where I should be with education? Why am I not like the guy next door to me? Why don't I have a car like the guy that pulls up in the BMW? And then one day I snapped out of it and I realized that everybody has their own time for things like that. But the only thing that matters in any of that is that I'm present, that I live the moment now. I don't live 20 years from now. I don't, to be honest, none of us know exactly what's going to happen 20 years from now, but we can determine what the moment is right now by the clarity that we have on our head, and then that in turn determines the future. And so we get caught in this really stupid idea of where we should be. Everybody is where they should be. And you determine what you do in the present. And so if you feel at the moment that you got to get up and make a change, make a change. If you feel that in the moment it's not the time for that to happen, then don't. If something is causing this anxiety inside of you, be aware of it, be present, but you're not going to have salvation 20 years from now. And I think that's what all of us do mentally, is that we look for salvation at some point in time which isn't even real. Because the only point that is real is now. And so that anxiety is very dangerous to us as humans. You know, you can have goals, you can write them down, you can start a business, but you have to be present with every single moment that you're doing. That's what's important, not what you expect to happen 20 years from now. Do you enjoy what you're doing? Are you present with what you're doing? Can you accept it? And those three things are massively important, because without them, people land in anxiety and they land in all this chaos, and people become violent because of these expectations, these grandiose fantasies that they have about what they should be and where they should be 5 years from now, or because they compare themselves to somebody else. Comparison is extremely dangerous.
Comparison. You know, road rage. I think part of what causes road rage, where people are freaking out and smashing on the gas and swerving around and chasing people, is that funny?
It's funny, man.
The way I describe it. I've had road rage before when I was younger, and I analyzed the feeling that I had. Motherfucker! It's because you feel so unworthy. You're trying so hard, and you feel so unworthy that you literally want to smash your car into a bridge, or put a gun in your mouth, or hang yourself, or like I'm in all respect, you know. that's what I talk about this stuff on this channel. But it's like, and I know what it feels like to feel like such a worthless piece of shit because you're not where you should be, that you just want to, like, you want to fucking set yourself on fire. And
wow. That's Keith. That's right. I mean, that's exactly what that is. I couldn't have said it better. Keep going though. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I had some flashbacks of people that I would get like that.
Yeah. And I wonder if I should talk about that here. Fuck
Talk
it.
about it.
Sometimes,
yeah.
no. I'm very happily married, but if you're married, you know. So sometimes my wife around that time of the month, she like, if she had the red button that blew up the world, fuck it, right? So it doesn't matter. She doesn't see love in anything. I can't even be in the fucking car with her, dude. when she's going through that time of the month, and I gotta sit there and just breathe through it. But it's an amazing transformational growth experience to be so close, proximity and quarters, and so intimate with somebody that you love so much, to see when they're suffering and you go, oh, like now I can see what I do when I'm suffering, or and then you can actually stand at the door of the relationship and nurture and support that person that you love while they're going through it without becoming egoically, codependently, the pain body leaps and you become attached and now you're both fucking suffering. You could stand there and be in it with them and wear her anger like a coat and see, wow, it's like an entity running them up in there. You know what I'm saying?
It is an entity, and it's so important to just be patient because we all deal with it. I mean, we're all humans. There are very few people that have completely snapped out of that. And I mean, it's natural. It's just it's a part of the evolution of consciousness. But it's just you can't get you have to realize that that's not the person. You know, when somebody's going through pain, pain is in control. When somebody's going through anger, anger is in control. And if you sit there and you're present and you're aware of it and you're patient, eventually it'll run out of gas. Like you said earlier, Keith, you have to let it run out of gas. You cannot put up a block and expect it to smash into the wall without it being devastating.
Yeah, bro. Okay, let's end this. We're going on 23 minutes. Can you believe that? Time flies when you're in the quantum etheric field, my dog. Oh, man. I found this old video on my computer where I was in a Bible study with a pastor. Like, the pastor of the church having a Bible study with me. And I pull out my camera and I start vlogging. I'm like, what up, though? We're doing a Bible study. He's like, what the hell are you doing right now? And I was like, inserting humor in a very serious moment, I think is like, I would never stop doing that. So anyways, what is it? What up, Casey Lee? I'm reading the comments here. I love it, awesome. Okay, we're gonna wrap up. Alex Atleski on Facebook. You got your YouTube channel. What's it called?
How and Zen.
Oh.
How and Zen.
How and Zen. Yeah, dude, this guy is very enlightened. When you listen to him, it like unlocks your consciousness, and I don't know. It's like sometimes when people talk, your mind can't stop going. I'm very ADD, and when he talks, especially for me, I'm like, wow, like that's real shit. You know what I'm saying? So, cool, sir. So you left Michigan. One last thing, you packed all your shit, and you went to Austin, Texas to start a new life.
Yep, I packed my car and I came here, and just that was what I needed to do. I'm still a real estate agent. I still do real estate, but there was an intuition that I needed to get up and move, and sure enough, I followed the intuition, and that was the truth. That led me to everything that I'm starting to do, and all the people that I'm meeting and all the people that I'm running into are about consciousness. We're about conscious change. We're not stuck in these really negative emotional states. I mean, we're not perfect. We don't want to give that idea to people that there's this perfection out there, but we're definitely in the same boat together, and I'm meeting people that realize that, and it's a huge shift. But I followed my intuition. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't, we wouldn't even be talking right now.
Dude, it's amazing. Any closing advice for anybody who feels like they want to pack all their shit and bounce or make a life change?
If you feel that is the need, that that's what you must do to dissipate the issues, or that's in your intuition, do it. Don't ever fight your intuition, ever. You know, because all the times that I fought my intuition on an investment or on anything that I do, I would end up coming to find out that that thing succeeded and I resisted it. So you will know if it's an intuition that you have to change. You have to follow it. You know, and I'm not telling you to do something crazy or insane. You know what's right for you, but it's all there, like that feeling. Like if you know change is needed to make you a better person and the world around you better, take the change. Don't resist it.
Badass, bro. All right, Alex Atleski, thanks for hanging out with you. Enjoy your evening, sir. You guys enjoy your evening, and peace out, yo. I'll come back and I'll read the comments, and then you can come check out the comments too.
Yeah.
All right, later.